Hi friends, it's Shari. Today I am creating a fun, bright and springy Mother's Day card. So for this card, I'm using the new I Like Big Butterfly stamp set. Of course, I'm using the giant Happy Mother's Day die, and I have some die cut pieces as well. So I have the flowers and the little stems here from the Build-a-Wheelbarrow die set, and I also have a couple of the clouds from the spring showers. So first, let's stamp out and color our butterflies. So I am stamping them in lawnfawn jet black ink, and I'm going to color these little guys in a rainbow of colors. I'm starting out with my pinks or reds here, and I'm going to color them together with the same color combos. And I'm basing this off of a butterfly I colored on another card during release, and I really love how it turned out. Sometimes I struggle a little bit with butterfly colors, and I end up making things I don't really like. So I do suggest maybe looking online at butterflies for inspiration. Now I'm moving on to my orange. And on this guy over here on the left, I'm going to do the orange in these little details, but only the top and the bottom. I'm going to make the one in the middle yellow. So now I've moved on to the yellow, adding it in that little detail. Just a little bit of the darker color. For every color, I have a dark and a light. Now I have my green. And I'm going to skip the green on the butterfly on the left. Then I've moved on to an aqua color. I am going to pull that down into the butterfly on the left. So the top part of the wings are warm colors and the bottom part of the wings are cool colors. Then I have a blue color and finally a purple. And the purple will be the little details inside the bottom part of the wings on the butterfly on the left. For the bodies of the butterflies, I'm using some creamy peachy colors. I did not want to compete with all the colors on the wings, so I went with a neutral color for the body, and I'm coloring them both in the same way. And then for the extra edging detail, I went with warm gray on this one. And I just think that that actually really makes all those colors stand out really nicely. Because again, it's not competing. We have a nice neutral on the outside edge. It also gives it kind of that monarch butterfly kind of feel. I did add some little rosy cheeks, but my R12 didn't seem quite dark enough. So I'm actually going to pull in a much pinkier pink and add some little dots in the middle of the cheeks I was creating. Then I can take the coordinating dies and line them up, hold them in place with a little bit of removable tape, and cut them out, and just look how cute they are. So now to move on to the pattern paper I'm using the new Blissful Blossoms 6x6 paper pad, and I have that blue color for my background, and I will cut that out with the largest of the lacy rectangles. Then I have my giant Mother's Day sentiment, which I originally cut from the purple Watercolor Wishes, and I was going to layer this yellow spiffy speckles behind it, but I actually liked the yellow on top. So I'm just adding some liquid glue all over the back, and I will glue these together with a little bit of offset so that we have that purple shadow behind our sentiment. And I just like to lay a block on it so it dries nice and flat. I'm going to add my lacy rectangle to a white card base so we get that white peeking out through that little lacy detail. Then before I add my Happy Mother's Day to the center, I actually want to take the medium-sized cloud from spring showers and tuck it behind the word happy. So I'm kind of creating 4 little quadrants of images around my big sentiment. Now I can add my liquid glue and put my sentiment right in the center of the card. And you can see all 4 corners are going to have something cute. So I am popping up the butterflies with some foam squares, and they are going to overlap that sentiment a little bit. So this just makes them look like they're flying around the sentiment, which I think is really cute. Then of course I have their little trails, and I will just glue those directly to the background. For this one down here in the corner, I did trim off the piece that tucks under the butterfly just a little bit so I could tuck it a little bit further. I was bumping into that foam square. And I just wanted the whole trail to fit on the card and not hang off the side. Then I can add my other one up here in the top right corner. And then next I have my little flowers from my wheelbarrow. And I am actually gluing together 2 oranges, 2 yellows, and 2 pinks. And this is fake tan, sunflower, and guava cardstock. And the solid piece that creates the center is vanilla malt. So we have that kind of creamy color. Once I have my little flowers stacked together, I can add them to the stems, and I like that there are 2 stems in this die set going 2 different directions, and we will just add a little dot of glue to the circles, and then I am going to vary where each of the colors go. So now I have my 2 little bundles of flowers. They're going to go down here in the bottom right corner, and I'm going to make this one a little bit lower than the one beside it, so they're not exactly the same, and I'll just trim off that stem that hangs off the bottom. Now I do have the small cloud from these spring showers that I wanted to lay over the big cloud, but I did not want it popped up quite as much as a foam square. So what I did was I stacked 3 of them together to give it a little bit of thickness and a little bit of dimension and added that up there. Now when I got everything together, those clouds seemed very white and uncolorful, so I needed some pops of color just in that corner to balance everything out. So I added some little hearts out of guava cardstock, a big one, a small one, and a medium size. And now it's time to add my glitter accents to the hearts, the leaves of the flowers, and the butterfly wings. And then here is my finished Mother's Day card. It definitely has a lovely spring feel, but you could always incorporate your mom's favorite colors into your card. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.